Protecting your privacy online is becoming more and more important. But why should you be concerned with your privacy? And how do companies actually track you? When you perform a search using Google, and then click on a link in the search results, your search term is usually sent directly to that site, along with your browser, computer information, and even your physical location, which can often uniquely identify you. But who cares about some random site on the internet, right? Well, those sites usually have third-party ads, and those third-party companies build profiles about you. And that's why those ads seem to follow you everywhere. But that's not where it stops. Your profile can also be sold, and potentially show up in unwanted places, like places that would cause you to have higher prices, or even prevent you from getting insurance. But that's not all either. Google also saves those searches. Your saved searches can be legally requested and then come back to haunt you. Or a bad Google employee could go snooping or steal your information. Or Google could even get hacked. Some say if you're not doing anything wrong, then there's nothing to worry about. This is the same argument that the government has often used to justify taking away the privacy and rights of its citizens. Who decides what's wrong? And what happens when your definition starts to disagree with the government or the corporations that fund them? The idea if you've done nothing wrong then you have nothing to worry about assumes that the government is only made up of good and honest people that would never abuse their power. And even if this were true now, and it's obviously not, we cannot be sure it'll be true or much worse in the future. And the amount of information being collected by the government from social sites and search engines is drastically rising. Not only that, but the information collected is sometimes stored for an indefinite period of time, or even permanently. Who would want to reveal publicly what medications that you and everyone else in your family uses, all their phone calls, a list of their friends and their email addresses, social security numbers, phone numbers, mailing addresses, ages, all their past internet purchases, and a list of the websites they visit? And for what reason should we give up our privacy? So that companies can target us with ads? And what about security breaches when companies keep your data? We very well know that many companies were hacked, and then the data was sold to anyone by hackers. Your personal information is worth quite a bit of money. Major search engines have quietly amassed the largest database of personal information on individuals ever collected in history. Unfortunately, this data can all too easily fall into the wrong hands. For instance, in August 2006, the online world was jarred when AOL accidentally released 3 months' worth of aggregated search results data from 650,000 of its users, publishing all the details in an online database. That database is still searchable today. It is an absolute eye-opener to see the potential for privacy nightmares. Unfortunately, antivirus doesn't protect your privacy. Really, most antivirus programs don't even detect 80% of new viruses, trojans, spyware, and rootkits. You need more to protect yourself when using the internet. Number 1. Don't use your real information on social websites. Most people are not aware that 87% of the U.S. population can be uniquely identified by only using their date of birth, gender, and the location mapped for your internet address. Number 2. Don't post pictures of yourself on websites. Sites like Facebook now use sophisticated facial recognition software to identify you and anyone found in pictures uploaded to their sites. Those pictures are cross-referenced, analyzed, and stored. Number 3. Check your privacy settings thoroughly and often. Many companies update their privacy policies or release new features that modify or change your privacy settings without your consent. How important is it to check your privacy settings? Stalking apps like Girls Around Me mobile app show data about all the women or men in a general location for several square miles. The apps link to Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Flickr, and other social sites revealing full names, photos, personal contact data, birth dates, hobbies, interests, and even family members and friends. What's worse is that most of these people have no idea this information is available about them. Number 4. Use good passwords that are not easy to guess, and use different passwords on different sites. RoboForm is a great application that saves your passwords for you and encrypts them. Number 5. You can use a hosts file like MVPS to block ads, banners, trackers, third-party cookies, third-party page counters, web bugs, malicious content, and even most hijackers. This works by blocking malicious computers on the internet and works for all programs and browsers. An application called Hostsman can make this process relatively painless and is absolutely free to use and download. Once installed, click the Select Sources button. Put a checkmark next to MVPS hosts on the top and malware domain list on the bottom, and not the others, and click the Close button. Now click Check for Updates button to install your new hosts file. On the tab that says DNS Client Service, make sure that you set Start to Manual and State to Stopped, as you see pictured here. Don't forget this step. It's important. Lastly, in the settings, you may wish to choose Automatically Run on Windows Startup, so you always have the latest hosts file installed. Your antivirus program may need to be disabled before installing this program since it changes such low-level networking settings in your operating system. Number 6. When using search engines, use DuckDuckGo.com and IXQuick.com. These sites do not save any of your personal data, your search terms, and do not track you. IXQuick even has a photo images search. 7. Your browser. Most people don't know that your browser can give away a lot of information about you. Do not use Google Chrome. Google Chrome has many issues with privacy, including the tracking of all your searches, all the websites you visit, and all files downloaded. Instead, install and use Firefox. But Firefox itself will not protect you. Firefox's strength lies in its add-ons that can be downloaded straight from their website. Which add-ons should you use? Ghostery. Ghostery is one of the most powerful add-ons in the fight to protect your personal privacy. Ghostery sees the invisible web, tags, web bugs, pixels, and beacons. Ghostery tracks the trackers and gives you a roll call of ad networks, behavioral data providers, web publishers, and other companies interested in your activity. If you have any questions about its settings, simply set them to the settings that you see listed here. And don't forget to check the boxes to disable all third-party add-ons and all cookies. AdBlock Plus. AdBlock Plus is an add-on that also blocks advertisements, allowing you to view the web the way you want to, speed up your browsing by loading only the content that is relevant, and filtering out ads that track you. Ref Control. This add-on stops sites from being able to tell what site you just came from. This information is called a referrer. Ref Control stops these. Number 8. Disable geolocation. Geolocation allows websites to see your exact location, and it's built into most browsers. To turn this off in Firefox, type config:about in the address bar. Search for geo.enabled and set it to false. Here's what it should look like when turning off the geolocation tracking feature. In Internet Explorer, click Tools, Internet Options, and then the Privacy tab. Under Location Set, never allow websites to request your physical location. Then click the Clear Sites button, and then click OK on the bottom. Number 9. Disable DOM storage. DOM storage is a cookie that can never be deleted and never expires. It holds information about what sites you visited. In Firefox, type config:about in the address bar. Search for dom.storage_enabled and set it to false. To turn this off in Internet Explorer, simply go into the settings and uncheck the box Enable DOM Storage, as shown here. You'll want to make sure to clear your cookies in Firefox and Internet Explorer once you're done with all this. Is it worth it? Yes, absolutely. It may be a little complicated to set this up initially, but your privacy is worth it. For more information, please join us at jtf.org. The link is below.